Welcome to the auditorium at Lisgar, on stage, in front of a lot of empty seats, but you can imagine all the students, or for some events, their families, filling the auditorium behind me, including the balcony seats and the horseshoe balcony above. The auditorium has been decorated with the paint scheme of Lisgar, the blue and gray colors, to emphasize the Gothic decoration, the plaster work around the balcony, for example. And there's a Lisgar coat of arms above the proscenium arch above me. So this is really the heart of the school for extracurricular activities like music and drama, of course, which are also teaching subjects at Lisgar and where Lisgar excels. So the auditorium was the most important feature that was added to the school in 1908. It was a very large auditorium and one of the first of its kind in any Ontario high school. It could seat 1,200 students, which at that time was enough for the whole school to come in here at the same time. Over the years, it's been used for school assemblies, for drama performances, for an annual variety show, which was always called the concert, and also for performances by both the string orchestra and a band. Lisgar has always had a very strong program in music. The auditorium was extensively renovated in 1965 and 1966. These seats that I'm sitting in here actually were part of the 1965 renovation. Up till then, the tip-up seats were all made of wood. In 1966, they put in a new stage lighting system, but in fact, that system has also had to be changed more than once over the years. The architects who designed the 1908 wing were Edgar Horwood and Lawrence Fennings Taylor. Edgar Horwood had previously designed the Ottawa Public Library, their Carnegie Library on Metcalfe Street, but he'd also designed an auditorium over on Bank Street called St. George's Hall, which I think was the dry run for this auditorium. It too had a balcony and it was used for movies and concerts, was used as a ballroom, but it was much smaller, only 200 seats. So this was really quite an achievement. And this auditorium is the main part of the school that survived the major rebuilding that happened in the 1970s, because it was discovered that this balcony was structurally sound. There was no need to rebuild it. There was no need to put in major reinforcement. The only thing that had to be done to meet the fire regulations was to add more exits. Originally, it had outside metal fire escapes, which were considered to be unsafe. So new fire exits were added at either end of the horseshoe balcony. And those lead to a new set of stairs that go down to ground level. I spent a lot of time in this auditorium when I was a student with the Audiovisual Aids Committee, doing sound and lighting for many different kinds of shows. And I even helped to design the projection booth, which is beside me here, where the lighting system controls are located, as well as a couple of spotlights that were used to pick out star performers on stage. So there was a major fundraising effort by the Alumni Association in 2003, which made major improvements to this auditorium. And the recent 175th anniversary celebration has also involved fundraising. The seats are now pretty much at the end of their useful life. And there are other things that will have to be done to keep this auditorium as important to the school as it has been over the years. It's not big enough for the entire school population, so there is also a public address system that allows some classes to remain in their homerooms and hear what's happening on stage. It's set up now for rehearsals, but it has a large orchestra pit because the Lisgar Band plays for concerts and other events. The band and orchestra, string orchestra, also perform on stage. The stage has extensive machinery, fly machinery on the left-hand side, which uses counterweights to raise and lower the different light pipes, curtains, and other hangings that are stored above the stage. Whereas the wing on the right side has, at least it had, when I was a student here, the controls for the lighting and the sound. This room has windows just like the other classrooms, but of course most of the time the windows are kept curtained because for the auditorium usually the controlled artificial lighting is what's important. When this wing was built in 1908, there were also classrooms added on the floor below us, and there were science labs added on this floor and the floor above us. The end classrooms beneath the stage had metal spiral staircases, so they could be used as dressing rooms, and the performers who had to do costume changes or had to get from one side of the stage to the other could use those staircases. And for really big shows like the annual concerts, all the classrooms on the floor below could be used as dressing rooms. Unfortunately, those spiral staircases are considered to be fire hazards because they provide a chimney effect for fire to spread. So they're a historical feature which can no longer be seen. But new staircases were installed either side as part of the fire exit system.